Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to the recording. Okay.
Yes, it's recording.
Welcome to the Truth Runs Deep. I didn't bring any water, but that's okay. I'm Terryn,
I'm Kalli.
and we're gonna talk about all things Law and Order, SVU, the Mothership, organized crime eventually, fanfic crime.
Literally, eventually, we have no idea when that will be.
There's no date. There's no date.
We got
Literally,
nothing.
whatever. And more. So today we're short on time, so we're gonna make it a speed run edition once again.
Speed run of the mothership.
Um,
Man,
this
they have a lot to talk about in this episode.
Yeah, so this is trigger warning, I guess.
For lots of things.
Yeah.
Explosions,
So,
reproductive rights,
right.
end of life things.
Yeah, pretty much that sums it up. I should would sum up all the things that sums it up.
All right.
It's called
the episode
The
is
Meaning of
called
Life.
The Meaning of Life. Yes.
I'm gonna go grab my water so you can start talking.
Okay, and it starts with this couple coming home from an event, and we have a repeat offender because the husband is played by the same man who played the guy in
I have to look up the episode.
I forgot the episode. The one with Garland and the abused husband, and go ahead and Google it. I'm forgetting too. I just knew
I know
that. I knew who it was
when it
right off the bat
happened
because he looks very familiar.
That guy looks familiar. But that guy looks familiar.
Okay, we'll look for the episode.
23 should be 23.
Anyway, the couple gets home, and the husband goes to bedroom, and the wife goes into another room, and she sees a little gift bag on the table.
Oh, it's 22:15. What can happen in the dark?
There you go. Thank you. So that's the first time we've seen this guy. Now he's back.
It was gonna bother us if we didn't ever find out. So
it's interesting how usually they do repeat offenders for SVU, but now this guy was on SVU first, and then they put him on the mothership.
Yeah.
Very cool. Okay, so the husband goes to change, the wife goes into her office and sees a gift bag on the table. And she thinks it's from her husband. So she goes to open it. And then it explodes.
My mom and I had to rewatch it with my mom because she missed it. And she's like, "Why are you turning the volume down?" I'm like, "There's about to be an explosion."
Right? It explodes right in front of her face. So we know the couple's name is Sarah Hart. Well, the woman's name is Sarah Hartwood. I don't remember the husband's name right now. Next thing they get is Shaw and Riley being called to the scene and basically being told she probably won't make it through the night.
Yeah, it's not looking good.
The husband thinks that it's because his fault. He is an author who writes about
anthropology.
The
big fancy word is anthropology.
And faith, but takes the faith out of it and controversial stuff.
Can't remember top of my head. But
and then his wife is a reproductive endocrinologist.
Yep.
So
things people don't like.
We found out the author was threatened at a book event. And they arrest him and they try to they interrogate him, and he's like, he said bad about Allah, and it's like, okay, now we understand why people are upset. We also found out that Lieutenant Brady apparently knows how to make bomb as well.
Yeah.
Ma'am. She's like, oh yeah, we did it with fireworks. Kids, ma'am.
I mean, a lot of safety things changed in many years. You can't
they arrested him. They interrogated him. It was not him who did it, although he because
He was upset, but it wasn't.
they thought it was because he had like wires and connectors
Yeah, but he was
on
fixing computers or something.
his table, and he's like fixing like electrical wires or something. Well,
Yeah, but he's fixing computers, and so that was not
then
why.
they get
That's why he had.
traffic cam, and they see somebody dropping off a bag at the door. We find out
Mhm.
that it's one of the people at the soup kitchen that Sarah works at because she's a wonderful human being.
She volunteers. She's a good person.
Then we get a chase scene because the guy from the soup kitchen sees them and runs. It didn't
Of
last long.
course.
They get him, and they arrest him, and they bring him in, and the
Yeah.
he's like shocked that Sarah's dead. He's like calling her
Yeah.
Miss Sarah. He's devastated. He loves this person, and Shaw and Riley are like, "Why did you drop off the present?"
He's
And he's
like,
like,
some
"This
white
white
man
guy
paid me
asked me to."
$100
And they're like, "What do you mean?"
or
And then
$100.
he's like, "This white guy waved a hundred
He paid him.
dollars in front of my broke ass, so I dropped off the present."
Mhm.
And he said he remembers him having a bracelet that said Jeremy.
He thought it said Jeremy 15, but
He
he
thought
thinks
it
it
said
says him.
Jeremy 15, but we then realized
That's not
afterwards
what
that
it
is. Well, first we found out that unfortunately Sarah is in an irreversible coma.
is. Yeah. There's nothing they can do for Sarah.
They can't do anything. We then find out that Jeremy was Jeremiah 1-5, which makes sense. I caught that before the
Yeah.
show did.
Yeah.
And then
Both of
they
us
look
are.
at Riley's the one who figured it out, and they're like, what?
What?
He's like
How you know?
13 years of Catholic school. Um
Hmm.
then we get
They
they
go
talk
to the
to
office.
the doctors, and
They go to
there is
Sarah's office.
mention of Alabama.
Yeah. That's where I live. This is 100%
I'll
true.
let you take it. I'll let you take it from there.
There's what is called the fetal heartbeat law, which is established in February 2024. So what is done is embryos are considered a person. That's what the law has decided. Embryos are a person. So if those embryos die, you committed murder, and you can be charged with murder. So that affects fertility doctors. That affects people who are having the children through embryos. Um, it has not been repealed. There's been efforts to try to repeal that law because it's so damaging to people, but it has not been. Um, I work at my job is related to helping educate people on sex education, so I know these kind of things, and we're working on lobbying against that. So, keep up with your state legislator and all that stuff. It's really important, especially now. The election's in like a week, so
Oh my
please.
god.
Well, tomorrow will be a week, but close enough.
Just still.
Please make sure you go vote. We say this every week for the past like month.
Go vote. Go do it. Okay.
But anyway, it's like,
Shaw and Riley then talk about it, and we then find out Riley's wife had a miscarriage in between their two kids. So a little bit of history, sad history, but we get some more background knowledge on him. We then find out that there was a babysitter that called that a gift had been dropped off at the
at
house
the
she was
house.
babysitting, and she called and she was freaking out because of what happened with the doctor. And they're like, "Why would it be here?" And she's like, "I babysit for somebody who does an IVF treatment." So they go. While the babysitter has a little baby, Riley realizes that there's a kid still in there, and they're like, "We need to wait for backup." He's like, "No, I'm not waiting. There's a kid in there."
Mhm.
And the kid, he means well. He wants to give the present to his baby sister.
We're like,
And so Riley was fun. He's like, "You like ice cream? I think you'll like ice cream." And then like carefully like gets him out of this little fort thing he's in, lifts him up, runs out of the house. Boom.
He's like, oh, where's the present? We're like,
No,
okay.
kid. Um,
Something we forgot to mention is that the present, I don't know if this was this part, distinctly was a blue bag with pink paper.
oh yeah, yes. Thank you for remembering. Yes, literally. That's important for later. Um, we then find out they talk to the IVF doctor and is like, has anybody like not been liking what you're doing? And he's like, yeah, there's this woman I met the other day who like heard what I said and then like blatantly was like, no, no. They go to talk to her and she's basically like, yeah, I'm not gonna hide how I feel.
Mm-hmm.
I don't agree with um the pro-choice movement, etc., etc. Um, she was basically up front. Well, they
Yeah.
didn't. She didn't do it, but um, I forget how they get the guy's info, but they like do some more
Uh,
research, and they get a picture.
Riley sees a picture on her desk, and he kind of like remembers it when they like go through
And
some
then when they pull up the
things.
like case thing, and it's like a mug shot of him, he's like, "That's her
I've seen it.
boyfriend. I've seen him. That's her boyfriend." So they go to arrest him, and he knew they were coming, but didn't want to go quietly because he specifically said there's another bomb in here. So Shaw and Riley are trying to evacuate the building. The guy takes somebody hostage and holds a nail gun to his neck. But they're able to. So Riley distracts him with the Catholic school knowledge
Mm-hmm.
until Shaw is able to get him. There was no bomb. He was bluffing, but they didn't know that.
But they didn't know that. You
We
can't
find
see
out
that
his
as they
name is.
know when there wasn't.
Yeah, we found out his name is Patrick Wayne, and now it's the lawyer's turn, and they're trying to figure out what to charge. And Nolan's like, "Okay, attempted murder," and Sam is like, "No,
No.
we need to go for murder." And he's like,
But
"She's
she's
not dead." And Sam is like, "Pretty much is, unfortunately." And
pretty
Baxter's
much.
like, "You got a
You don't have
point."
a death certificate, but you got a point.
And because she's like, Sam needs to send a message. Sam says they need to send a message. Baxter agrees with her, and they do go to charge for murder. The defense tries to go against it. It is denied. And no
Because
one's
they're
like,
saying she's not
okay,
dead. We're like,
great. So now we just have to hope that the husband will be okay with declaring his wife dead, even though she's not dead. They go to talk to his husband and basically try explaining to him the situation. He doesn't want to hear it. He does not want to pull the plug. He wants his wife here. Sam like makes a comment and then they leave and no one's like, you need to brush up on your bedside manner. Your bedside manner could use a brush up, Sam. It's like fair warning, I did not pay attention to any of the rest of the scene after Nolan took his jacket off. I was distracted. But they did say is pretty much Nolan said it's not our job to rob him of his hope by saying his wife is dead. And Sam's like, it's not our job to have him deal with the consequences of that hope.
Yeah.
If he doesn't admit his wife is dead, the case goes out the window.
Yep.
And we get a little next scene of Nolan is drinking at the bar, and Sam joins him, and he already got her drink. He like slid it over, and he already knew what she wanted. And I was like, I can't.
Yeah. They said what it is, but I can't remember now.
I think they said whiskey. But I was like, oh my god, he knows what she drinks. He got her a drink. Yay.
Yep.
Well, as of now, right now, they're kind of on opposing sides of this. Nolan thinks it
Yeah.
should still be attempted murder. Sam's
Yeah.
like, nope, this is murder. Murder. We need
He's
to
like,
do
what do
this.
we do the next time some angel of death comes through and decides to unplug a ventilator? And everyone's like,
Did you have to?
did you have
Did
to
you
go there?
have to?
Did you
I
have
mean,
to
don't
go
get me
there?
wrong. When I get to later on, I was thinking of it, but okay. So we get to trial, and Riley is testifying, and he's talking about the bomb content, and it's basically there is metal in there that is sharp enough to tear into human skin.
Yeah.
So
Like it's a
basically,
pipe bomb, so it has
capable
nails
of hell
and
on
metal, and
purpose.
it's just not good.
The prosecution rests. Everything's looking fine. Then the defense brings up this. I don't even know if I can call this man a doctor.
But before that, he asks him about Blade. We get to that part. Oh, the part where he talks about like they were like, why were you scared? And he's like, well, we
Like,
thought he had it. He said
we
he had a
didn't.
bomb.
Yeah, what are we
He
supposed to do? We
said he
didn't
can't
know.
rather believe he did than he didn't.
Yeah, if we didn't and we all died, then
What we're gonna do? Rather you take the chance that he did versus he didn't.
so yes. Then this defense has this doctor, or if I can even call him that, testify.
I don't know.
I literally don't know. And then he brings up this thing
Literally,
called
called
Lazarus
Lazarus.
syndrome,
Or
which,
some
if you
people.
don't know what that is, Lazarus is from the Bible,
Yeah.
and he was dead, and then Jesus brought him back to life. So
Yeah.
this guy is basically saying that even if these
He's
people are in comas and
They're-
dead and
but
whatnot,
they
they
can
can
come
come
back.
back up. And the jury's like,
We're
what?
like,
And
it's
Nolan is
we're
like,
like it's not totally impossible, but it's such a low when no one says the
yeah.
percentage
And
a
Nolan's
little
like,
bit later. But like
we're not, what?
that's not like science here. Like that's not
Yeah,
not this
they
is that
tried
one
to
jury
deny
believes
it.
this.
I
He's like
mean, they
if
tried
one
to get it,
jury believes this, our case is over. You know, you
yeah,
have to be
literally, they
unanimous.
try to get it denied. They don't. He can testify. And literally, the whole thing was just freaking creepy. It's like talking about this, like, 13-year-old kid that, like, was in a
Well,
coma and then woke back up. And he's like, yeah, I believe Sarah Hartford will wake up. And it's like,
yeah.
oh my God.
The
What is
doctor is like,
happening?
we've done it because the doctor previously had said we had done like every test possible, all of them cognitive
Oh,
tests.
yeah, thank you.
And they were like, all the cognitive tests say that nothing. There's no
like, Nolan is literally just
chance.
sitting there like, we might be screwed.
Yep.
We get a little scene of Nolan working in his office, and Sam goes to check on him.
Because he's like, you gonna read my closing argument?
Yeah,
Actually,
and she's like, regardless of how emotional or brilliant your closing may be, like, we're not going to be able to do this if
it's
she's
one
not,
jury decides if she's not
if
like
people actually believe
dead.
this, she's not actually dead.
Yeah.
Who said I went out on a limb?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was Sam. She found out that Sarah had a DNR.
Yeah.
Do not
She's a do not
resuscitate.
resuscitate.
She's kind of like, she shouldn't even be held on life support right now.
Yeah, because her husband didn't like disclose that to the hospital that she had.
And so they end the conversation, and Sam goes to the hospital to talk to the husband, and it's like, no, God damn it, Sam, I love you, but no, what are you doing? This isn't a decision that you should be helping him make right now.
Mm-hmm.
But she gets him to explain.
He's like, you know, how would your wife feel if your killer walked free?
And she explains the DNR, and he basically just says, I just wanted my wife to live.
It's like,
and it's like, ugh, heartstrings. And it literally goes to the next scene, and it has Sam going to talk to Baxter and Nolan. She's like, wait, before we go back to court, we got to tell the judge that Sarah Hartwood died at 8:02 this morning.
Yeah.
The husband pulled
Now
the
the
plug.
charges. Yeah. Well, he
So
didn't
now the
actually.
charges
He
really
had
you stick.
he has the life support taken. You have to make sure he had life her taken off life support.
So Patrick is found guilty.
Yep.
And the case ends. And literally, like, you would think these two were like enemies for a split second. The way Nolan said this line, he's like, "Whatever lets you sleep tonight." It's like, oh no! Stop fighting! Stop it! So we know that Nolan didn't want to do it, but Sam's like, "Oh, I will," because we put a cold-blooded murderer away.
Yeah.
And
someone who's very so not just a killer, but somebody who's very anti-women and
like this guy would have kept doing. This guy probably would have
done it again. He would have done it again. He tried to do it twice. He's probably gonna do it again.
And I literally at this point I wrote in all caps, "At least she didn't do it herself." Because I was not gonna be able to take that. So please tell me we're not going down this road again.
Not again. Redacted doesn't need to happen another time.
Please. Yeah, and then we got to the end of the episode, and they literally decided, "Here you go. We're gonna leave you with
There's more angst for you, you know."
Yeah. We see Nolan enters a hospital room.
I forgot to put the trailers in, but
I'm thinking at first, I'm like, is he going to see Sarah? No. He puts his stuff down, sits next to this elderly man, takes his hand, and says, "Hi, Dad. How was your day?"
Oh,
and it's like, "Hey, Dad, how was your day?" What? What?
Oh. Oh, you kind of like, I watched it another time after that because I was up at 12:30 at night watching it the first time because we had like Alabama a debate at 7 o'clock, so then I had to wait till 12:37 a.m. And then I watched it again yesterday with my mom because she had missed it. So, and even when you watch the whole thing again a second time, you're like, oh, you see why no one responds how he does.
Yeah. But honestly, like that piece of information, although they gave it to us really quickly, kind of puts a lot of things into perspective of why Nolan fights so hard. Because he's literally providing for his dad who's sick in the hospital.
Yeah.
We don't know if
we don't know how long his dad.
We don't know how long he's been there. We don't know what happened. And we don't know if he's like in a similar situation to Sarah or not. But like, this is literally this is what he's fighting for. This is why this case is so personal to him. And I wish he like talked to Sam, because like Sam was saying all this not so good stuff the entire time without not knowing how much this affected Nolan. Like basically it's like, if you're calling Sarah dead, kind of calling my dad dead, and he's not, and it's like also once again, Law and Order giving everybody sad, tragic family things. Because we know from the first season that Nolan lost his brother from an overdose. And now his dad is like this.
Yep.
And we don't know if Mom's in the picture. It's literally him. Just trying to provide for
his father. It's like,
yep. I do now. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be a sore spot for them. Like, if they are going to get together, they need to discuss this again before anything else. Because, oh Lord, it was a lot.
It was. It kind of like that plot twist kind of just, it's not really a twist, but it kind of just was like, oh, you understand now.
Yeah, we get it now. My only grievance is that like I said last week, with an episode that we thought was going to be more about focusing on the reproductive rights, I was like, okay, Sam should do everything. But since I was more, they like kind of went away from that, and it was more of, is she dead or is she not type thing. Like, no wonder why Nolan was. No wonder why Nolan was really pissed about the doctor dude. Because
Yeah.
he's like, he doesn't want to hear. He doesn't want to hear anything like that
Crazy.
if it's not going to
Yeah.
actually happen for his
Yeah.
dad.
Because it's like he says it's like a 0.0001% chance that if you ever ended up with him. It's pretty much possible.
We don't know the full context of what happened to his dad. We just know that
He's not well.
he's not well.
So,
I do this for
yeah.
the ending gets 5 stars all on itself.
Yes,
Because it came out of nowhere.
Yeah, I give it a 4. It's a this week, just Halloween. It's indeed Halloween.
That's
Thursday.
literally, we have episodes on Halloween.
Yes, we do. Oh, we forgot to. Sorry, well, I'll do the trailer. Then we forgot to say birthdays, or I can put this. We'll just say it'll be the middle. There was a lot of birthdays this week. But this week is called Report Card. It says a student is accused of killing his teacher when the suspect's age has put the case in limbo. Price in the room put the school policies on trial. Shaw attempts to connect with the suspect backfires.
Fun.
It's like a
I
little.
literally don't
They said
remember.
he shot his teacher at point blank range.
Wait, how old's his teacher? I mean,
I
how
don't
old's
know.
this kid?
This kid looks young.
I wonder if they
14, 15.
I wonder if they took it from that case in Virginia
There
where the
wasn't.
kid brought the gun
Oh,
to school.
Maybe they did. This kid maybe looks like the minimum 12, the oldest 15.
Fun.
Called Report Card. And we'll be seeing it on Halloween night. But we did have some birthdays. And we'll put this in between.
We did. We had 3 birthdays.
There were 3
We
birthdays
only
this week.
thought we had 2, and then we found out about the 3rd one the day of.
Yep.
So October 24th, we had 2 birthdays.
Yep.
We had, hold on, you can say it.
Of course, we had Raul's birthday was the 24th.
Woohoo! Yay!
Yes. Yes. So. And
He is
then it was BD.
and wonderful.
Yes. Yes.
And we
He
also
sang
have
he sang Friday night at the Carnegie Hall, and the pictures are
literally
really. They're so
birthday
silly.
and the next day.
Wait, the pictures are really funny. He was having a good time.
I mean, of course, we all know like when Rolls. Well, if you know, we know that when Raul is performing, he literally gives it his all, no matter what. This time, he decided to literally.
He kind of like bends
down on a chair, and then continue singing.
Like, oh. Yes, we're like, man.
Like the fact that he can even sing like that.
And I was like, man. There's no legal video there.
There's no video. There is some audio floating around. We have pictures.
We have pictures of him. So you can pretend, I guess.
On the chair.
Yes, but yeah.
Because it starts with him like slumped.
Yeah, then he's like
not caring. And then apparently, according to some friends that were there, it transitions to him hopping up and then deciding to lay back on the chair like a rainbow or an arch. Still singing.
Yes, still singing.
Only him. Of course he did.
Mm-hmm.
The other birthday we had.
It was BD Wong's birthday. His birthday is also the same day. He's Dr. Wong. We haven't seen Dr. Wong.
We haven't seen him in a long time.
He didn't make guest appearance, so he hasn't had one in a long time.
It's been a while.
Since
they brought Melinda back, they can bring him back.
Yeah, give them a good start. At least one time, you know. And then McCod's birthday was Friday.
Friday the 25th.
Yes.
Yes, literally 2 birthdays, one after another.
Yes.
I don't know when the next
Mariska
birthday.
posted a picture of her going to go vote early. So if she went to go vote early, you
Yes,
should go vote. Well,
ma'am.
I can't vote. I can't go
Yes.
vote early because Alabama doesn't have early voting. But they no longer have early voting, so I cannot go vote early. But if you
I
can, you should go
freaking
vote
love
early.
how she's like, here we go. Here's my
I'm
picture.
gonna show you.
She's in her sweats and her glasses, and she still looks cute. And she's like, nope, I voted. Now go vote.
And yet, now you go do that.
I don't know if we do. Early voting.
There's so many. Well, most states do.
Also, the fact that
Most
there's so
states do.
many posts.
So probably, but there's a cutoff date. There's a cutoff date though before Berlin. There's like a time where the early voting ends, and then you have to wait till election day. But I can't. It depends on what state you're in, so you have to look and see.
Also so many like reposts of like a lot of people posted pictures of Raul and Mariska for his birthday, and Mariska reposted all of them.
Well, that's maybe not even all of them. At least 4. She posted 4.
All the ones that we saw.
Mm-hmm.
It feels good.
Yeah.
It feels good. Okay. I'm gonna wrap up for now.
Well, we're gonna wrap up for now. We'll do their other half tomorrow because we have things to do today.
Or later. We don't know.
Probably tomorrow. So we will see you all next time. Well, not next time. We'll see you in the second part, which will probably you'll see us in different clothes, probably. Part two. Anyway, that's all. Oh, oops. Hold on. I forgot I have to end the recording.
Thanks for listening. We'll be back.
Thanks for listening. We'll be back. We're back. Part 2.
It's a day after because I unfortunately have adult responsibilities I have to deal with.
I also have adult responsibilities. Got a job, and I have more.
Adult responsibilities are not fun, but they give us money, so
we're gonna keep going. This is the weirdest few episode at first. You kind of
because they don't really know what's happening.
I took separate notes than you because I wasn't trying to see spoilers for the mothership. So like, I don't know if mine are more detailed than yours, but it doesn't really matter.
Like starts with like 2 teenagers like discussing relationships.
It's all constricted.
Parents.
Yeah, just like,
and they've been sending certain kinds of messages to each other.
Mm-hmm.
You could probably figure out what that means. I don't have to tell you.
Yeah.
And then
the girl Hannah, she's upset because her mom has read her messages and she lived for a bit because they were about to go on a date, but they hadn't gone on the date yet.
The dad is like trying to make sure, like, they're not. I mean, the mom's trying to make sure she's safe. Meanwhile, the dad is like, if you're gonna do it, she's the buyer and you're the seller. And it's like, why the frick are you?
It's a weird conversation.
What kind of weird analogy is that?
But
and the man,
but like she tells her mom,
the mom at least is like,
be safe, be responsible. You can do it because she asked her what her plans are, and mom was like, no, don't do it. Other people need it. If you're gonna do it, you're gonna do it at home.
Yes,
I won't be here, but at least I feel safer that you're doing it at home.
Do it at the house, and we'll be fine. It's like, okay.
For sure.
I don't know how old these kids are, but
they're 16, 15, 16. I forgot. I wrote it down in my doc somewhere.
Cool.
But the boy's name is Ryan, and the girl's name is Hannah.
Yes. So Hannah and Ryan, they go on a little date to like this nice little seafood place.
Yeah.
And they got virgin pina coladas, but then somebody snuck in stuff to make it not virgin anymore. Please don't ever do that. You will
Don't
get
do that. You'll get
you'll
in
get
trouble
in
if you're
trouble,
underage.
and you will get the restaurant in trouble.
Yeah, the restaurant will also be in trouble. So don't
Don't
do
do
that.
that.
Okay. I think I get
He
the restaurant in trouble too. Don't
said
do
his
that.
dad gave it to him, which makes
Why?
sense.
But you'll understand why we're like.
Yeah. So they go.
Eh.
They have the date. They go back to the house. They're kissing, and then that's all we get.
Yeah, it stops right there. And then we go back to another scene.
And it's like the next day.
No, we're skipping. You're skipping.
Skipping. What did I miss?
You're skipping. We're skipping. So it's Sunny and Jesse are walking together before
That's
we.
what I said. It was like morning.
Oh, okay. Then I didn't think it was. I don't know. I feel like I was a little like irritated
Oh,
that day because like my whole
it felt
Thursday was
bright
all
out.
messed up. Yeah, my whole like Thursday was messed up. So I was like, I don't remember exactly how this all went.
So anyway,
But
yes,
anyway,
the Sunny and Jesse scene that we knew was happening from like the beginning of the
yeah,
season.
yeah. Because people took pictures, set watchers,
And they come out of a phone store. People were like trying to figure out what it was, and they're like, "Why does a 9-year-old have a phone?" Yada yada yada.
I mean,
And
but
then
it makes
Sunny
sense
is
once you
there.
like know the whole story. It makes sense now.
He's like, "Do you like it?" And Jesse's like, "I like it." And he says, "Happy early birthday," which is cool because the show
And it's
actually
correct because her
remembered
birthday is in November.
in November. The show remembered, hooray! And she said, "You gotta be responsible." Sunny says, "You gotta be responsible." Jesse says, "I will." And Sunny says, "It's only for you to talk to mommy when she's away at her new job." That is why she has the phone. It's nothing. It's not for like playing or just because she has a phone. It's because Amanda, who we find out is currently in Texas.
Yeah, they put the wrong. They put the episode. They switched the order, so then that because it kind of was weird for a second.
Tell
like, what?
it was supposed to go first, and we still don't know why they changed it. But basically,
flop last week and this week, so it's kind of like
Amanda, so Amanda and Jesse can keep in contact, which is fine. That's like understandable.
Responsible. It's probably like a kid's phone, that's like safe ones. Sunny probably did all this stuff.
Sunny would have all the parental controls. She's the oldest. Like, she's got a lawyer dad and a cop mom, and she's getting older. Like, she needs to start like learning a few responsibilities.
Responsibility.
And then Jesse's like, "When does she come home?" And Sunny's like, "In a few days," which we know was.
It makes it clear that they flopped him because she was already there. She
was already there. She already left Texas.
Yeah, they switched him, so it's like.
And then Sunny takes Jesse's hand, and they're walking down the street like nothing's wrong. And then this guy walks by and immediately like.
Kind of looking kind of weird, looking a little suspicious.
He takes a look. He checks Jesse out. I can't say it any other way because that's exactly what he did.
Yeah.
And Sunny like stops. He looks.
Because the guy also looks at some other girls. They're a little older than Jesse, but there's like a couple of more like
they're still underage. And he's like, "Okay, Jesse, sweetie, stay here."
Yeah.
I'll keep
like, what?
And he's like, "What are you doing?" And the guy's like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Those two girls were underage." He's like, "What?" The guy's like, "What?" He's like, Sunny says, "You were staring at them. You're staring at my daughter." Which is the first freaking time we've heard him say that. Which, I mean, we all freaking knew. We all knew. It was all, we all knew was happening. We all knew that she was, but it was the first time he said, "My daughter." And he got so pissed.
Yeah.
He asked
he's
the
like,
guy
for his ID. He's like, "Let me see
the ID." And the guy's like, "Are you a cop?" And he's like, "What do you think?" And he's just standing there, and it's like, official lawyer suit. You didn't ask, you just gave him the ID. So now he knows the guy's name and address and everything. He puts it back, and then this is like, I don't know. I didn't really. Creasy is apparently really good with threats because he says, "You keep your eyes to yourself if you want to keep them in your head." Like, oh. he walks away. He goes back to Jesse. She's like, "Is everything okay?" And so he's like, "Oh yeah. Now let's go. I promise you. I promise your sister." Dinner. Apparently, Billy likes pizza. I mean, understandable.
We had pizza. We had pizza all the time. Make pizza.
Pizza! Oh my god, yeah! The New Year's, and he brought pizza.
Yeah, they had pizza. That's what I was thinking. I said pizza. It's really not the time, probably.
Yeah. Makes sense.
I guess it's
Pizza,
the easy way to.
pasta, pizza, pasta. He's Italian.
Yeah.
Kids. Understandable. So yeah, that.
They show the mom coming home. It's the next.
Yeah, the next thing is the mom coming home, and the daughter is like
throwing up. She's unconscious on the floor.
It's not good. Then we get the opening.
Yeah.
And then we go back to we get to the precinct, and Finn, Olivia, and Carisi walk out of the elevator together. And Olivia's first line, literally, ma'am, like totally showing that it was totally backwards, says, "How's Rollins' new gig?"
I know, he's told Rollins. Yeah, they clear. Sometimes they're like, what?
We really don't know why they changed the order, but it's very clear that this one was supposed to come first. And Carisi's
he's already told. I told him Anna what happened.
Yeah, he's great. And he's like, "You can handle it." And she was like, "Oh no, that was Finn," because they're like, basically they're still together. They're still like this, even though different causes. Still. And then Sonny's like, asked Olivia, and like, "I need advice." He's like, "Is this work related?" She's like, he's like, "No, parenting advice." She's like, "Okay." They step in her office, and she closes the door. And what's going on?
And he tells Olivia what.
He goes, "Who decided the crop tops and sweatpants are what girls wear now?"
Really? I mean, TikTok, I guess.
Like, no, like, I'm not gonna judge what little girls wear, but like, also she's, I don't know, like when I was 9, I was wearing like
things were
overalls and dresses and little jumpers. Things are different now. Like, I wasn't wearing a crop top and stuff, but I don't know why he said crop top, because when they showed pictures again of Jesse's outfit, like the shirt was still like down to where the top of the hem of the sweatpants was. So it wasn't terrible. It was just
I guess he's just, a parent. I mean, I guess, with his line of work, you're paranoid about everything.
And Livy's like, "What?" And he's like, "I saw this pedo checking out Jesse." He literally says that word, like. And Olivia's like, "Oh my god," like, she's only not literally. We get verbal confirmation of Jesse's age. And Olivia says, "Oh my god, she's only 9." And Sonny says, "I almost laid into him," which he would have. And Olivia's like, "Sonny." He said, "Well, that was my dad, my sisters. He would have dicked them." She said, "Well," Olivia says, "Well, your dad isn't an ADA."
Yeah, you can't be going around doing
stuff. You can, but you'll get disbarred and lose your job.
You can get disbarred, She says something like, she tells him that, like, he's not a cop, but he can do what he can for his daughters, but he's
and then Olivia reminds him that he's gonna have 2 teenage daughters.
Yeah.
And the literally the look on his face, he's like, "Shit." Shit. He's like, "Oh crap, now he's scary. Now he's worried." Okay, there's that. Then we get the case. And they go to the
hospital. They go to the hospital too.
They're going to the hospital, and they're talking about the case and like what happened. And then Curry and Olivia are talking, and they're like, "Is this new to you?" And she's like, "No, my son didn't hide it from me. As long as he's safe, I don't care." And Olivia's like, "How'd you know?" And she's like,
I found the wrapper.
I
found the wrappers under his bed.
stuffed under his mattress.
But you're doing it safely and responsibly.
Which is, yeah. Then they go talk to Hannah, and she said it was like fine at first, and she was enjoying it, and then she said she was getting advice from her friends.
Yeah.
It was act like what they see in videos.
And we're like, you
And it's
shouldn't
like,
be watching it. That's adult content.
why are we mentioning videos?
Adult content. Adult content. But that's important later, but it is indeed adult.
I love the fan.
I know. We are on a time crunch. We gotta keep moving.
And then we find out that Ryan literally flipped her over and grabbed her neck.
And
bruises on her neck, like, and they couldn't figure out where it was from. Now they do.
It was from behind, so they were like, "She's what?"
And she tried to say no, and he didn't hear her, and he did it. And the mom is like devastated because she's like, "I let this happen. I let them in my house. I didn't know how to lose her virginity like this."
This like. Yeah,
she wanted it
in
to
the
be
car,
special.
in the back of a car. You get like, oh.
Well, then Olivia goes back to the precinct and is talking to Flynn and Carisi. And they're like, "Okay, we gotta go interview this kid." And Olivia's like, "Maybe we should let Finn."
Yeah, Carisi's a little wild. Carisi's a little too
like,
wild.
He's getting mad. It's like, if this were Billy or Jesse, I'd kill this kid. Literally.
We're like, you're like, hey, you gotta calm down.
Threatening death. His daughters are literally everything to him. He's threatening death.
Yes, but you got a job to do, and you're like,
and Olivia's like, maybe we should let Finn do the interview.
Yeah, you're getting a little like. You were worried about him the whole time.
But I'm not going to let being a parent prevent me from being. Not going to let being a parent prevent me from doing my job.
Yeah.
Well, he goes in the interview, and you can tell he's like harsher than usual.
I know he's very.
And he finds out. We find out that Ryan was shown the video by the shown a video by his fencing team, and then we get a little. The dad that shows up,
like, and he's kicking the vending machine. We're like, have we learned how to be kicking the vending machine? It's been through that vending machine's been through a lot.
Velasco's like, what do I? Velasco's like, what do we do? And Kate's like, those guys don't know what to do with their helpless. So in other words, go figure out what you can do. Intel, infiltrate. And we basically find out that the dad is like, you know, has all these ties with all these police charities and whatnot. And he's basically trying to bribe Velasco to make it go away.
We're like,
woo.
No. He's like, because Ryan has admitted to the choking, but not yeah. Because Joseph said something like, maybe he got some bad advice. They were like,
and Velasco's like, yeah, no, you can't do that. Like, he's like, are you trying to get me? He literally says, are you trying to get me to make this go away? And Dad's like, I could just make sure that certain money gets placed in certain areas to help the NYPD.
And they're like, no, bribery is, you can't do that in the police.
The family leaves.
No,
we then find out that unfortunately, this isn't the only thing.
No Ryan was gonna probably get jailed for it. So yeah, and then the phone rings.
And then we get a call that there were
another attack.
Two 13-year-olds who tried to
Yeah, it's
assault
like
a 12-year-old.
yeah.
And there was a witness, and they said that she pulled her skirt. They pulled her skirt up and were touching her. And so she ran out into the street to
Into
get
the
away
street and
and got hit by a car.
Yeah.
The driver, at the very least, was cleared. It was not his fault. Like, the person probably already feels guilty. And it's the first time Carisi is there, like, a crime scene in a while.
Yeah,
He's going rogue. He's like, this is personal.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he finds out that there is the boys are mentioning a video too that the girl mentioned. They're like, okay, what is this video? And Carisi like walks away. He's pissed. Well, we then find out that one of the boys was Ryan's cousin.
Yeah. Which one is it? I think I wrote the names in my docs. I wrote separate set of notes as well. Ryan. The boys are Toby and Andrew, and one is his cousin. I wrote it down.
The girl's Eliza.
Yeah, the girl's Eliza. Eliza's 12. So they go to see Eliza's parents at the hospital, and they're like, should we tell her?
And they're like
the whole story.
Devastated.
Yeah, and Olivia's like, you're a mother when you want to know the whole story too.
Yeah. So they do. They don't know what's gonna happen. Well, yeah, so they find out that Brian's cousin had also seen the video. And they're like, okay, who showed this to you? And it's like, my uncle.
And
it's like, what? So we're getting the revelation that
the cases that
the person who showed him the video was the person who showed Ryan the video was his dad. And apparently others have seen it because of him.
Yeah. They go
to interrogate the dad. They get a warrant and everything.
Well, first they see Ryan at his school and find his information out. He says Hannah broke up with him because of like what happened.
Yeah. Like this whole time you can tell that this kid isn't like
he didn't have any malicious intent in this.
He didn't like I know some people literally say he didn't mean to. He literally didn't mean to. He didn't know what he was doing.
Or the episode on the TV is "Confess Your Sins to Be Free."
Yeah, I saw that.
And he's giving that speech to his priest about
yes, crazy speeches.
But anyway, that's like when we like first started the podcast when that episode came out. So like that was a throwback to season 1 of the podcast. Anyway.
So they go to the dad. The dad like says, "Yeah, I showed him the video," and Sonny's like, "I didn't hear that. Did you?" Or something.
They want to charge him with endangering a minor because that's kind of wild.
He's like, "I was just trying to be a good father."
No,
you don't show your kids that kind of content.
No, you don't.
Ever. Well. Then we go back to like the main squad and they're all like talking about like how much this case is affecting Carisi. And Velasco's like, man, he's angry. And Kate goes, he's got daughters. Any half decent father would feel the same. And it's like, yep. Very much so. But it's kind of interesting how she says half decent. I'm like, it makes me wonder, like, how's her relationship with her father? We don't know. Anyway, Olivia then gets a phone call, and unfortunately, Eliza has died. So she goes to talk to the parents, and they're like, what's gonna happen? Like, and because they're minors, not much. And the mom's like, we lost our daughter forever. And the dad's like, and these boys are going to walk away when they're 18.
Yeah.
Like, 18, done. We have to deal with this for the rest of our lives. We don't have our daughter anymore. And they're like, we're not going to get to see her graduation, her wedding, anything. It's like, oh. Side note, Olivia had like these white nails and they were gorgeous. Please, I need them again. Well, then they get a domestic call and there's things going on at the Blake's house. And the mom is yelling at the dad and is calling him a cheater. And is just pissed that it's come to this because Eliza's mom, she found out that Eliza died too. And the son continues to say, I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't mean to hurt her. And unlike other people, he actually means that. And the mom goes on to say that her husband is a salesman. And they're like, how is there a way, like, they have a warrant. They're like, where could your husband have been watching this?
Because they've already taken everything else. There's all the tech, except.
And she's like, he has a VR headset. Well, of course, the VR headset's in the trash. So they all have to dig through the trash. And Velasco's literally down to a white t-shirt.
It's like,
literally in the dumpster digging. He found it. And he gives it to, and he's like, is this enough, counselor? And he's like, this son of a bitch is gonna regret it. And he walks away, and it's like, oh, he's still pissed. So there's that. And Olivia goes to talk to Sunny, and Sunny's like, how you doing? And she said, well, I just watched two parents say goodbye to their daughter forever. And then they go interrogate the dad, and the dad literally has the nerve to say, no, my son is at fault. Dude. This isn't your son's fault. Why are we blaming the kid? Don't blame the kid. And Olivia's like, no. All this started because you tried and failed to teach your son how to be a man. And then Sunny gets angry and says, you want to be a real man? Take accountability. So he basically pleads guilty to endangering the welfare of a child charge, and he admits that showing this video hurt a lot of girls, including Hannah and Eliza, and he's going to jail. So, not exactly happy ending, but justice was served. And then Olivia and Sunny talk, and they're like, are you still up for that drink? And they go back to his office for a drink.
Change the scene because there's pictures of a they go to a bar, but then the actual result they don't. I guess they cut that scene.
Yeah, we haven't got that one yet, so we don't know. And Olivia's like, how are you feeling? And she's like, and Sunny is like, I'll be a lot better in 4 hours. Rollins is on a flight home. Aw, he misses his wifey. And then he pulls out a bottle of whiskey out of his desk. And I did not think out of all the people to have a bottle of whiskey in his desk, I wouldn't think he would be crazy. But apparently, law cases change. And he looks to Olivia and he's like, whiskey neat? She's like, sure. And he's like, good, because I don't have ice cubes. And they, share the drink and kind of ended at that. I don't remember what else was said.
Oh, it says, they say to justice. Well, she's Paula, which is the wife, is divorcing her husband. He's
Oh,
losing
yeah,
his
that's
money,
it.
and Eliza's parents are suing. And they say to justice. And Olivia says, "Is that what we got?" And he says, "It's a start." And Olivia says, "Sometimes that's the best we can do."
The dad is like getting
Broken.
everything taken from him. Money, family, and freedom. All right, I give this one. I gotta give this one a 5. Honestly,
Mhm.
okay,
4.
4.5. And it only gets a 4.5 because of the crazy stuff.
Yeah. Other than that, it was
Other than
pretty
that,
simple.
the crazy stuff is what made it. Because it's like
Mhm.
their fandom was like, oh, there's of course he's gonna, you know, be protective of his daughters. Well, now we know how protective he's willing to be. And he's never, and I have to point this out because a lot of people, I saw some people comparing him to Stabler.
No,
No,
not in the same.
no. Here's the thing. Sonny is saying it verbally. Stabler would skip the verbal and immediately go punch the dude. Sonny has like the moral part of him that he would understands that no, he can't go commit violence. Stabler just does it anyway.
Yeah.
So yes, we left
Um,
Carisi. We have an episode in a few weeks with more Carisi angst because apparently that's what everything we're getting this season. Now, don't get me wrong, it's phenomenal acting from Peter. But can I have can we have a happy moment, please?
I
Please,
guess we'll see.
anything. All right, what's next week?
Economics of shame. This is one we thought would be
Oh
interesting.
yeah, the Velasco one.
Yeah. When Chief Reporter becomes the victim of extortion, it could ruin her career. Benson helps take back control while Gillespie goes undercover as a potential rich target.
It'll be interesting to see. Now the question is, why do they have Velasco to it when Bruno's right there?
Probably because he's younger looking.
You found out that Kevin is younger than Octavio.
I mean, but that doesn't translate to show character age. So.
True. But I'm like, okay, it would be really funny if, well, I mean, we know Velasco knows how to do like rich stuff because he's been undercover
He
before. But it
when
would be
they
really
first met him,
funny.
he literally was.
It'd be funny if Bruno gives him like rich lessons. Like, this is what you do. Say this. Don't say this. So it'll be interesting. So we haven't had a Velasco centric episode in a while. The last time we did was the one where everybody was pissed at him because it was covering up a death.
Yeah.
So at least this one sounds like it will be a good thing. All I know is if he gets hurt, I will riot. I will riot. He's grown on us.
It'll be interesting.
Don't hurt him, please. I think that's everything.
Yeah.
So there was that. The next episodes are on Halloween.
Yep. So happy Halloween. We'll have
Happy Halloween, everybody.
Very fun. Be safe.
Yes,
Be
please.
safe and go vote. Those things.
Be safe, go vote, eat candy.
Yep. And that's all.
All right. I think that's it.
All right. Good. Bye. We'll see y'all next week.
Hey, guys.